Hello everyone. So today we are going to learn about displacement model. Now before going to that, we should understand what is the meaning of shape function or interpolation function. The relationship between the element displacements at any point and element nodal displacement is directly achieved through the use of function, and these functions are called as interpolation functions or shape function. This is denoted by n. Now, the shape functions are expressed as a component of either global coordinate or else local or natural coordinates. Now, to calculate the shape function, we have many methods. In that, we will see displacement model. Okay, so basically, displacement model is nothing but the variation of the displacement along the element are approximated using some function, and these functions are known as displacement model. A polynomial is the most common form of displacement model. There are two reasons why this form is commonly used. First thing is, polynomials are easy to handle. That means it is very easy to integrate or differentiate the polynomial equations, and polynomial of arbitrary order permits for approximation to the true solution. Now, we will see for 1D element, for 2D element and for 3D element how we are going to write the displacement model. First, I will write for 1D element, one dimensional elements. For example, bar, truss, beam element will be considered as what? 1D element. Now, if you have a displacement model for a axial or longitudinal displacement, that means in the x direction, if you have any displacement, you are going to write in terms of u of x is equal to a1 plus a2 into x plus a3 into x square. Similarly, so on, a m x to the power of n. Now, this is for axial, and if you have any transverse direction or in y direction, if you have any displacement, that would be written as b1 plus b2 into x into x square, so on. It is going to continue, where v is a local axial displacement and v is local transverse displacement, and a1, a2, a3, b1, b2, b3 are the generalized coordinates, and n is the degree of the polynomial, and m would be the number of generalized coordinates. Now, here the important thing is how we are going to consider the how many number of coordinates you have to take and what will be the number of generalized coordinate. It is very important here. Now, displacement model we are going to calculate. For example, if you have a two-noded bar element, suppose if you have a two-noded bar element, you have to consider the number of generalized coordinate would be equal to number of nodes here. That means you will be calculating u of x is equal to what? a1 plus a2 into x. Now, for example, if you have a three-noded bar element, you will be getting three generalized coordinates. Okay, so like this you are going to write the generalized coordinates, like number of generalized coordinates you are going to consider. This is for the 1D element. Now, for example, if you want to write a displacement model for a 2D element, basically we are going to use a Pascal's triangle. I will just show you the Pascal's triangle here. 1 x y x square xy y square x cube x square y xy square and y cube, and this is axis of symmetry this would be the equation. You are going to use the Pascal's triangle. Okay, so this is a Pascal triangle which can be used to write the displacement model for any 2D element. Now it is very important that how we are going to write the generalized coordinates. For example, as I told you how many number of nodes are there in the element, based on that you are going to write the like you are going to consider the displacement model, no, like you are going to consider number of generalized coordinate. For example, I will take a triangle that is having 1 2 3 noded triangle I have. Now how we are going to write this one? You have 3 generalized coordinates, no, so we will be writing u of x is equal to a1 plus a2 into x plus a3 into y. That means you are going to come in this direction. Okay. Now v of x is equal to what? b1 plus b2 into x plus b3 into y. So this is how we are going to write the equation. That is, u is the displacement component in x direction and v is the displacement coordinate in the y direction. Now this is very important and you are going to follow in this way only. Okay, 1, second, third, then fourth, fifth, sixth. So it should come in a proper way. For example, assume I'll be taking 6 noded triangle element. Okay, now we have 6 nodes, no? So this is 4, 5, 6. You have 6. Now how you will write u of x is equal to, that means 1, that is a1 into 1 plus a2 into x plus a3 into y plus a4 into x square, then a5 into x y, then plus a6 into y square. So this is how we are going to write for the 6 noded triangle element. Now assume u of v of x also will write. It would be b1 plus b2 into x. The writing of this way is same only, that is like this only. You are going to consider the values, that is polynomial values. Generalized coordinates would be different. For u will be taking it as a1, a2, a3, a4 and all. And for v, I will be considering the generalized coordinates as b1, b2, b3. It is nothing but a constant. Okay. So b4 into x square, b5 into xy and b6 into y square. Okay. So this is how we are going to write the equation for a triangle. Now assume you have a rectangle. You have a rectangle kind of thing, that is 4 noded. Okay, 4 noded rectangle if you have. Now how you will write? See, 1 x, y, then xy should come. Okay, so this is how you are going to calculate the value. That means you will be getting u of x is equal to a1 plus a2 into x plus a3 into y, then it will come here, plus a4 into xy. Similarly, v of x is equal to b1 b2 into x plus b3 into y plus b4 into xy. So this is how you are going to write the shape function for a rectangular element. Okay, based on the number of nodes, you are going to consider the number of generalized coordinates. Okay, now 2D it is done. Now you will be having a 3D element. For that also you have a sequence. Okay, this is Pascal tetrahedron. Instead of Pascal triangle, you have a Pascal tetrahedron. Okay, so I'll just write that one. This is Z. So this is x square, xy, y square, and this is, here we'll be getting xz. So this is z, no? This is xz, this is yz. Okay, so this is the Pascal's tetrahedron. Okay, this is the Pascal's tetrahedron. Now, in the Pascal's tetrahedron, what you are going to do is same method only. Okay. For example, if you have 4 elements, so it would be 1. U of x would be sequence. I'll just write. It is U of a1 plus a2 into x, a3 into y plus a4 into z, then a5 into x square, a6 into xy, then y square. So like this the pattern is going to come. Okay, this is the way to write the expression. Now similarly, v of y would be equal to what? b1 plus b2 into x plus b3 into y plus b4 into z, so on. Then similarly, w of z. Why? Because you will be having 3 dimension, no? So you will be getting in the 3rd dimension also. That is c1, c2 into x, c3 into y plus c4 into z. See, I am just changing the generalized coordinates. Okay, so other things, whatever the x, y and z pattern it is there, it is same only. Only thing is I will be changing the generalized coordinates. Okay.